Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I am a little bit later than I usually am today. I had a few things going on today, but I definitely wanted to spend some time down in my craft room sharing some pretty things with you guys. So here I am. I hope you guys have had a great Saturday so far. Mine has mainly consisted of housework, so I actually need to get a little bit of creative time in. That was my aim, as I said. So I'm a little bit later today. Normally I jump on at around 4, but if you don't catch me live, as always, I will be posting this to my page so you can watch a little bit later on. I'm going to get right down to it because I have a brand new stamp set to share with you today. If you are joining us live, make sure you say hello, and we'd love to know where you're watching from. I'm trying to get this up on my page on my computer as well. Hopefully I am in fact live on my Demonstrator page. I don't post anything these days on on my, hi Maz, how you going? I don't post anything these days on my normal Facebook page. I'm just not on there at all, so I've got no idea what's going on normal Facebook land. I'm just in Stampin' Up Facebook land. That's where I tend to hide out these days. Thanks for joining me. If you are here, please say hello. I'm trying to just get the comments up on my computer here so that I can see your comments as you might make them. But anyway, just say hello so I know that you're there. I know there's at least 2 of us watching. So let me switch it around, and I'm going to pop you in the cradle and switch around the camera like that. There we go. So hopefully you guys have a good view. Technology is amazing. I've just got a new phone. I've also worked out a few little helpful things with Facebook Live to make my sound better. I think it was my old phone that was the problem. So we've ironed out a few kinks. So hopefully your watching experience will be a little bit nicer than it has been. At least you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Now, I've just realised I've forgotten to get my heat tool, so I'm going to grab that because I will definitely need that for my project that I'm showing you. And I've got my power board down here, so I'm going to pop my heat tool there, and I'll just plug that in, ready to go. So would you like to see the brand new stamp set that we're playing with? If you have been on my Facebook page, or if you're one of my newsletter recipients, you will have probably seen this stamp set before because I featured it in one of my newsletters that went out this week, and it's called Growth Takes Time. So there it is. It's a brand new stamp set. Let me just bring this out a little bit so you guys can see a bit more. There we go. That's a bit better. It is a gorgeous stamp set. I bought it for the greetings, but I also really love the images in this set. So it's obviously the theme of the set is nurturing and growth. And we've got the images of a little seed that's just germinated. We've also got the image of a plant that's growing, that's getting a few leaves on it. And here, the third image is a large tree, which obviously has been nurtured and watered over time. And I love the greetings because, well, they're true, and I think I will be able to use them in lots of different contexts. So I like, there's one that says, be patient, your time will come. Be gentle with yourself. That's probably my favorite one. That's something that I remind myself of periodically. Be gentle with myself. Don't be harder on myself than I would on anybody else who's just human, right? Look how far you've come. So there's some encouragement greetings as well, and a really good reminder for everybody that growth takes time. We've got some extra images here. So there's some extra leaves, which I think you could use sort of to fill out your tree a little bit if you wanted to. You could use it as a background. And there's this super cute little watering can image, which I am going to be using today. And yeah, I'm going to be featuring that on my cards. And I'll show you a couple of samples with the different greetings, just so you see how they can turn out with the different greetings. So are you ready? Let's get started. So I have some of my favorite colors here. I've got Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Fresh Freesia, which are colors that we're sadly going to be saying goodbye to very soon. If you received my newsletter, I sent out a reminder that you guys need to get all of your re-inkers and your embellishments and your cardstock and any other products that feature the older in colors. That's the 2021 to 2023 in colors, which are retiring. So next month, demonstrators will actually get to see the new catalogue, get to see the new colours. We have been given a heads up that there's going to be a little bit of a colour refresh as well. So if you love colours, stay tuned and you will find out a little bit more. I will let you know as I'm able to. I'll give you some little teasers and hints about what's to come. But we have been told that there will be a colour refresh, as well as the usual every year we get a brand new set of what's called in colours. So these colours we'll be saying goodbye to. So I'm kind of giving them a last hurrah this month, and I will be playing with them a little bit next month as well. But you may see some new colours appearing in my videos next month, so keep watching. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do with these three little squares of the in colours is I'm going to stamp on them. I'm going to use the little watering can stamp. Don't you just love that heart? So cute. But I'm going to heat emboss in white. So what I want to do is use my embossing buddy from my Embossing Essentials pack. I love the fact that we've got our trays back and that we can use them in our projects. I love the fact that we've got our embossing buddy back and our tweezers. So everything's all in the one pack. If you missed that, was actually in the former mini catalogue, but it has been carried over. So you can find it in the online store. Just look up Embossing Essentials. And I have a feeling it's going to be carried over into the next big catalogue as well. All right, so here is my Versamark, my very much loved Versamark pad. I've just re-inked it so it's nice and juicy. And I'm going to be stamping this 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Don't worry about stamping them straight. You could even stamp these on an angle and that'd be fine. We're actually going to be cutting out these images after we've embossed them. So there is my Fresh Freesia. There it is, all ready to go. And my lovely lipstick. And my Polished Pink. And my Pale Papaya. How did I call it lovely lipstick? That was a colour a long time ago. Oh, I don't know why I get my colours mixed up. Anyway, it's good that we have new colours to learn, right? Because that means we're getting new colours all the time. So I've just popped the embossing powder on these. And what I'm going to do is give them a squirt with my heat tool. Okay, so that's just one. We'll pretend through the magic of television I have done all three because I have actually stamped and embossed a couple more on these. And my card today, I'm going to feature just two of the colours. I'm going to feature the fresh freesia as a background, and the what is the foreground? Oh, yeah, the heart is actually going to be, I'm going to cut out the little heart and place it on top. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So yeah, I just had this idea that what I would do is I would create my design, my layout on a die cut, and I've chosen to use the stitched rectangles, and this is cut out of Crumb Cake Cardstock. I really love the look of Crumb Cake Cardstock. Kind of gives you that sort of folk arty kind of, it almost looks like wood, and whatever you put on top of it, it looks like you've painted or you've decoupaged, or it just looks a little bit more arty than the white. So I definitely wanted to use that. So that's going to be my base. I'm actually going to stamp that one more time on there before I layer things up, but let me show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut out my entire watering can from the fresh freesia using my paper snips. Now, paper snips are a must if you're wanting to do fussy cutting. Can I recommend these? They have such a great ability to cut around fine details, and they're really easy to hold. They're really light. They're easy to maneuver, and I find it's easier if I just keep my snips still and I just move the cardstock or paper that I'm cutting around like that. So I'm just sort of swiveling it as I go. So there's my base watering can. Now for the little heart, what I'm going to do is come in and just cut out the heart from this one. Let me just cut it out roughly first, and then I'll go around it. Just give yourself a little bit to hold, so it's easier to cut around the little heart. And what looks really cute is if you stick this heart over the original heart from the watering can that you cut out. And it kind of, definitely looks a bit folk arty after you've done this. So that's kind of the look I'm going for, right? Folk art. All right, I'm going to just grab a glue dot to stick this heart on, because I certainly don't want it to come off once it's stuck there. There's a little heart there. Sorry, a little dot there. There we go. Beautiful. And just place that on. How cute is that? So you could mix and match your colours. You could start off with a totally different colour watering can and a little different coloured heart, depending on what you've chosen to do your embossing, what cardstock you've chosen to do your embossing on. All right, I said I was going to stamp and emboss another one. So this is the one that will appear on the card front. So I just need to use my buddy again, and I'm going to bring in my Versamark once again and the stamp. And I'm just going to tip it on its side at an angle like that. So I sort of want equidistant from the bottom of the watering can to the side, and the water and to the side. Just so it looks like it is actually tipped over on its side at an angle, and that's why the water is coming out. So you get the idea. We're watering, looking after, caring for, nurturing something. I'm going to choose my greeting at the end. I haven't decided which greeting I'm going to use yet. So let me just give that a squirt. You want to make sure all of that powder is melted, and you can tell that by the fact that it's shiny. Now, you're not going to see most of that because I'm going to overlay my original watering can. The only bit that you're going to see is the water coming out. But it gives it a really nice look and a good dimension, I guess, if you've embossed it beforehand and then added your pre-embossed can, the coloured one, over the top. So I'm just going to grab a large dimensional. That's a normal size dimensional. And I might even grab a little one just to go along the spout like that, just to give it a little bit of extra support. There we go. And now that is going to just go over the top like that. Because it's got the dimensionals underneath, it really does give it a 3D look, as you can see. I'm really liking that. Gorgeous colours, aren't they cute? This little can is so gorgeous. Now, let me just bring in my stamp set again, because I've got a couple of greetings that I could choose. Growth takes time is definitely one that I think, I don't know, it's just such a good reminder, isn't it? We don't grow overnight. And often it takes pressure and hardship and heat and all sorts of stuff to make that growth happen. And in some situations, yeah, we can definitely choose to grow, can't we? Instead of staying stagnant. So growth takes time is a really good reminder, and I think that's what I want to say on my card. I'm not sure who I'm going to give it to yet, but I'm sure that will become apparent. I like to have some cards in my stash that I don't necessarily know who they're going to be for. And sometimes you find the exact card that you need for the exact situation that you need it. So that's why I always like having a bit of a stash on hand. So I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia ink pad, and I'm going to stamp this directly onto the Crumb Cake cardstock. It's going to look a little bit different to what it looks like when you're stamping it on your basic white, but that's okay. As I said, it's going to have that sort of, that handmade look that you get with the Crumb Cake cardstock, and you can definitely still see the words. I've got some embellishments here as well, which I have got out so that I can make sure I use them up this month and next month. These are the loose flower embellishments, and they have the pale papaya, the Fresh Freesia, and the polished pink coloured flowers in them in 2 different sizes. So what I wanted to do was include some of the flowers. Let me just see what these look like. I think I might use pink. I might use the polished pink this time, just to give you that variation in colour. So we've got all 3 colours now on the card front, which is cool. I'm going to grab my glue dots again. These loose flower embellishments are not self-adhesive, but it is so simple to put them onto your project just using a glue dot. And they really are gorgeous. You can even put rhinestones in the middle of them because the rhinestones are self-adhesive. They've got a little sticky dot on the back, and that looks very pretty. But they've got a bit of a sparkle and shine to them. They've got a lot of dimension. They sit up off the card. That would even make a nice little tag. Imagine if you bought someone a plant, or you had a cutting that you'd struck and it was growing. You could give it to somebody and inspire them with a little tag like this. We're going to make ours into a card though. Now the card base is actually from one of my favourite products. You'll find these in the annual catalogue, and these are the basic white note cards and envelopes. They come with an envelope that is the perfect size for the card, and they're already scored. That's the other thing. So all you've got to do is, to make that score line a little bit more pronounced, is just run your bone folder along like that, and then you've got perfect size card. Now this, this die happens to fit one of these little note cards perfectly. So you see you've got a nice even frame of white around it, and you'll find that, yeah, a lot of our dies are suited to the note cards. You can find the perfect die in amongst your nesting dies to use that will fit perfectly. So there we go. Just applying that with glue. And I think what I might do is I might even grab some markers and I might decorate my envelope. I don't even need to clean my little stamp. Don't even need to clean my stamp because it's just had Versamark on it. So what I'll do is I'll flip it over and I'm going to grab my markers in the colours that I think I'd like to use. Okay, so I've got 3 markers in those 3 colours. And don't forget, guys, the markers are also going. So if you don't have your markers in your polished pink or your re-inkers, make sure you get them before they disappear. They usually sell out very quickly once they go on sale with the retiring list. So get them now. That's my advice so that you're not worried. So I'm going to do my little heart in polished pink. Very cute. And I'm going to do my watering can in Fresh Freesia. So I'm just using the pen end, the texture end, or the paintbrush end, whatever you call it. The thicker end, the larger end. There you go. That's the easy way to remember. It's the easiest way to ink up your stamps. The other end is smaller and you can use it for journaling and writing in your cards as well. It works really well for that. Okay, so I'm just going to do the water in the pale papaya. Really love the pale papaya colour. It's gorgeous. Incidentally, if you've got any of these colours that are your favourites in the cardstock too, just make sure you get them before they disappear. And then you will have a bit of a stash to go on with. Of course, you can always use your ink pads and, and your markers forever, as long as you've got the re-inkers for them. All right, I'm going to breathe on this and then I'm going to stamp it up the top, and there I have a little multicolored stamp using my markers, which fits perfectly with my little card. Can't wait to send this one to somebody. I will show you the other cards that I made as well. Here they are. So I have them in all the different colours. So here is a polished pink. Let me just fold that down so it sits better. Polished pink and Fresh Freesia version of my card. Here is a pale papaya and polished pink version of my card. And I've got the polished pink flowers there. And here is a Fresh Freesia and pale papaya version with the pale papaya flowers. So I don't know which one you like the best. Here's the one I made. I've incorporated all 3 colours on the one that I made today. But I have now got a stash of cards that I can use for lots of different, I use different greetings on all of them as well. You might have noticed in the different colours. So yes, I'm going to be using this stamp set a lot. And I'm going to be uploading a video to YouTube this week as well, which is using some of the new papers and this stamp set in a different way. So look out for that. But I will be saving this to my page here. Let me flip you around again just to quickly say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched live, if you caught me on the replay, you can still say hi. Tell us that you were here and tell us which card that was your favourite. We'd love to know. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend and I will see you next week sometime. See you later. Bye.